It wasn't until now that I finally realized why everybody is flocking from their 9 to 5 job over to YouTube. And some of us are making a full-time living off of YouTube, and now I can understand why they're doing it. Let me just tell you, I am getting sick and tired of corporate America, how they use you, how they take advantage of you, how they know that your net worth is more than what you are actually putting in, but they don't care. They don't care at all. If you don't know, I'll give you a little bit of an update if you haven't watched my past videos. Somebody's leaving my department, and I'm going to get their work in return of them leaving. Not only are they not replacing this person, they, as the company, are on a hiring freeze. So they're not replacing the employee that has an 8-hour job that needs to be done. They're not going to hire anybody else to do that 8-hour job at all. So a majority of it, if not all of it, is going to come to me. Regardless of whether I do well or not, that's besides the point. I go by the principles. Now, this type of thing happened to me in the past with former employers that I worked for. And I sucked it up and I dealt with it. I did suck it up and I did what I had to do, right? Even though I was backed in the corner and I was taking on additional workloads, I stuck with it. I did what I had to do. In some cases, I benefited from it, whether it was a spot bonus, whether it was Amazon gift cards, or whether in some cases I was promoted. However, in this particular situation, because the company that I work for is so big, I doubt that's going to happen. I highly doubt I'll be promoted to do more work or even make more money because I didn't get a raise in 2025. So again, now I know why people do what they do in corporate America. And again, I'm not new to this. I'm 46 years old. I've had a desk job. I've been in an office setting since I was 18 years old. So I've seen a lot. I've heard a lot. And I have been through a lot. This isn't my first rodeo as far as getting more work dumped on me. However, I'm getting older and I'm quite frankly, I'm getting tired of it. I'm just getting sick and tired of it. I'm getting sick and tired of being taken advantage of in corporate America. I mean, there's one or two things you can do to fix this. Number one, you can go to your boss, go to your direct manager directly and express your feelings, express your thoughts, express your frustrations. But because I've been through this before, I know they will not give a shit. It's not going to make a difference. You might get help here and there, but it's not going to change. You're going to continue to get the same workload. You're going to continue to feel stressed, and you're going to continue to feel overworked. Whether you're salary or whether you're hourly, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to make a difference at all. It does not matter. You can talk until you turn blue in the face. I have done it trying to steer people in the right direction on YouTube and try and hope that they don't get scammed or something doesn't happen to them financially. But in the work world, corporate America, business is business. Business will move on with or without you. It doesn't matter. Now, if I were to leave and go somewhere else, they'll find somebody else. They're not going to take 2 employees out and not replace one of them. It's just not going to happen. So the second thing I can do, of course, I just mentioned it, is find another job, find another position within the company to start off with a low workload and eventually gradually get into that workload where I'm going to feel where I am feeling right now. I'm going to feel that pinch. I'm going to feel that workload. I'm going to feel that moment where you're totally stressed out just thinking about the work you're going to get. I haven't received this work yet, but I know when the person takes off and they're on vacation, I do what they do as a backup. I'm their backup. But now who's going to be my backup? I'm going to have probably 2 other people taking my workload on. So not only will I get the additional workload, but that'll be put on to somebody else when I'm taking vacation days and so forth. Or, if I'm sick, somebody else will have to pick up that work. Unfortunately, it's very unfortunate that we have to move this way in corporate America, but it's just what's happening, and it almost makes you wonder if they're truly trying to push you out the door. People are moving around internally, you have all this AI stuff going on. Are they really trying to move you out the door to hire 2 other employees to do it cheaper than what they're paying you? Because you could probably hire 2 employees to do what I do and pay them cheaper per year. And not only do you benefit from paying them less, but you will benefit by giving them more work, because they're not just one, there's not just one person, it's going to be 2 people that you're underpaying to replace one person. So could that be happening? Yes, it could be happening. And I have a feeling that's why they are trying to force people back into the office, 4 to 5 days a week again. And a lot of companies are shying, they're going away from the hybrid stuff because they want to test to see who's going to stick with the company and who's going to run away from the company, right? And a good way to push people out the door is to eliminate hybrid, or if you're 3 days a week, you push them back in to 4 days a week, or possibly 5 days a week, right? But where I work, you have different structures and different buildings that have different hybrid schedules. You would think with a company, a big company, we're talking like 45 to 50,000 employees, that they would make it fair across the board, no matter what. We have certain buildings that go in 1 day a week, some go in 3 days a week, and other buildings go in 4 days a week. And some people are required to go in 5 days a week. Now, how the bleep is that fair across the board? It's not. But again, we're talking about corporate America. It's not fair anymore. It's never going to be fair. And as long as you're in it from the beginning, you're just going to have to either roll through it. What they say, shit rolls downhill. You roll down with it. Or make an adjustment and pivot to make it better, to make your lifestyle better, I should say. To make your lifestyle better, to fit within your means. Whether you're stressed out, whether you're underpaid, this, that, or the other thing, you understand, exactly what I'm talking about. You need to make that adjustment, right? So now I'm wondering if I'm trying to be pushed out the door purposely, so I'll just leave and they can hire 2 other people, if they even do that, because now there's going to be 3 people in my department. We started off with 5. Now the other person is leaving. Now we have 4. When that person leaves, we'll be down to 3, which is ridiculous. How do you expect to push a workload onto one other person who already does an 8-hour day, if not longer? Some days I work 9-10 hours. It all depends. Again, I'm salary, so I don't punch in, I don't punch out. I can go in at 10 and leave at 3 and then jump back on when I get home if I want to, right? But I don't do that because I sleep better at night knowing I can get up, work 8 to 3, go home, and then jump back on remote. And I'm doing this 1 day a week now due to construction. So if you don't know, I was summoned back into the office 3 days a week after being hired full remote. And I'm sucking that up, I think, pretty fucking well. I think I'm dealing with that pretty well. Given the terms on how I was hired and what I was being told, I am sucking it up. After construction, I'm sure I'll be going back 3 days a week again, but right now it's 1 day a week. It's every Monday, and I'm sucking it up and I'm dealing with it. But what I can't deal with is not getting a raise in 2025 and also getting more work dumped on me that I didn't even ask for, right? It doesn't say in my job description I need to be doing other work when other employees leave. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you're going through a similar situation like this, or if you have been through a situation like this. I want you to let me know in the comments so I don't feel alone, because I feel like I'm alone in this situation. I know it's going on in the world, and I hear about it from other colleagues and other friends that I know going through similar situations, but I want to hear from you, and I want to know if this is happening to you as well. I will catch you in the next one.